We are starting, and I am also recording for you guys. So before we actually get started, we're doing a refresher video on the thing that we saw the very first time we played this, that some people don't remember. So, yeah, here we go. Everybody watching the stream?
Yep.
I am. It's just black though.
It's just black. Perfect.
Chris is not in here, but I'm assuming he's making meat.
Probably.
Meat. He's warming up at meat dinner.
All right.
Oh. Stalagmites.
War has truly always been an adage as old as time. Some say even older than the gods themselves. War is the most magnificent thing on this earth. War breeds heroes, and war breeds legends, and legends are forever. Let me tell you of a legend that has been lost to time itself. 10,000 years ago, in the age of great kings and legends, an emperor carried his grandson down into the depths of the earth. Ever down they went, the caves around them growing cold, until they reached their destination. A crystal rose before them, its magic casting an eerie blue light into the caves surrounding them. The 100,000 facets of the crystal gleam with past events of history. Why is everyone fighting, grandfather? As the child stares into the crystal's depths, the emperor just sighs and says, "This is the way of the world, child, and you've known nothing but peace since you've been alive. But that will change soon." Men of all kinds have always found a way to kill each other. With wood, and with stone, and with iron, and with steel.
Urk high.
Leaders rise up to lead. And leaders fall
Troy.
to be forgotten. Pay attention to those that rise, child. This is what you were born to do. Born to bring our enemies to their knees. Born to bring death and destruction to those that oppose us. Born to carve your legacy into the facets of time. A moment of silence hangs in the air. "What must I do?" says the child. A small smile appears on the emperor's face. "Watch, study, and be patient. For one day I will leave this world, and you will have to continue our conquest beyond what I have already done. But do not fear, for I will return. It may be 1,000 generations. But mark my words, child, I will return."
Okay.
Dude, I got a raging boner right now.
Parker, you there?
I am here.
Okay, perfect. I know you wanted to discuss some things. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Before we get started.
Yep.
So I normally, like after Wednesday session, I used to like bounce stuff off of Shope. Shope's not really there, so all I have to bounce off is Suddy, the DM, and I don't trust him. I think he's just like looking for ways to screw us over.
You could text
So
me.
I do.
I'll
I
answer text.
I should also just call you. That would also work.
You could do that.
But after like going through this again and a couple other like I have my theories, which I know Alec has theories, and from what talking to Seti, Jake, you probably have some pretty good theories. But there were a couple things that I didn't think about, and I figured we could talk about them before we actually get started. Which was, so we like instantly ratted out the captain from Artemis, and what's the other one?
Augustus and Artemis.
Augustus and Artemis, yes. And for me at the time, I was like, there is literally no upside to waiting. And this is my logical thought process. There's no upside to waiting to tell them, because if he like tried to do something that night and he was thwarted, from their perspective, even though he's Augustus and Artemis, he's still from the same city, our same city. So we might get associated with that. Versus if we can kind of jump in there beforehand, that lets them know that, hey, there are different factions in the city and they have different interests. So even though there might be other people who are working against you, we can still work for you, right? At least, to further our own gain.
Yeah.
So that was my logical thought process. But what I didn't think about was, like, I didn't hear any other like dissenting opinion. But did anybody else have a different thought on that?
No, actually no.
I agree with that.
Yes.
For once, I'm not opposed to you.
Oh, thanks,
I
buddy.
am also not opposed to you, but I am also very skeptical, because just because these people may or may not accept magic users more than we've been used to, and just because they're one of the guys that we've met has not blatantly, openly tried to fuck us like every other person we've met, does not necessarily mean that they're on our side and a good thing. And telling them that there is an assassin about does allude to the fact that we recognize said assassin man, which could cause, strife amongst the town. Maybe it would have been better for us to confront the assassin man as opposed to telling them that someone from our city wanted to kill him. Now, I wasn't necessarily thinking through all of this equally as well at the time, due to the lateness and the fact that we were kind of all getting off and then not, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like those are some of the thoughts that I have.
See,
I would rather be fucked in the light than someone unbeknownstly just demolishing me. You know what I'm saying? There's something that's like, there's something that is, I can't think of that word, endearing almost, but not endearing, but like, it makes you trust them more if they're willing to fuck you in front of your face. Then like, I know what this guy's about, he's being upfront and honest. At least we have that. With this guy, you know what I'm saying? And like, this is the first time we haven't had that. And so that does it makes my neck hair prickle.
This guy's what he just said, what Jake just said, sounds exactly like what all Republicans said during the 2016 election.
Yes.
So, what your exact scenario was one of those things. So, like, confronting as it is, the captain does not know we're there on behalf. He doesn't know who we are, right?
Not really.
So
He shouldn't know who we are at all,
exactly.
because we saw him in passing and snuck into his room.
Oh, that guy. I thought. I'm sorry. I got the wrong captain confused. Yeah,
No.
we don't know. That guy doesn't know us at all.
Yeah, so he doesn't know us at all. So us revealing ourselves to him, and let's say we convince him not to try and assassinate Unity, right?
Right.
And
in my mind, there's no reason to even say anything to him. For the sole reason is that he has no idea who we are, and probably gives two shits of who we are.
well,
Right.
that's the thing is, if we say something, we lose our anonymity, and then he probably goes back and reports that as we are working with them or against
Augustus and Artemis.
Augustus and Artemis.
Yeah.
And like, that doesn't benefit us at
So aren't we already
all.
working against Augustus and Artemis?
Yes, but for them to actually outright know that there's a
Right.
convoy for the Arabella Corporation that's out actively working against them would not be. Because we still have to sell ships to them later.
Right,
Confronting
because
was a
we
poor
want to
choice
fuck
of
them not in front of their face.
Right. Confronting was a poor choice of words. How about cock blocking as a better choice of words?
Just
We
like
could have
sticking.
kept our eye on him, and we could
Yeah.
have, kept his intentions from transpiring.
I mean, the way I looked at it was he probably wouldn't be successful in assassinating him anyways.
So there was no reason for us to tell.
Well, no, there
Why do you
is.
think he'd be
Bec-
unsuccessful?
well, based on just the sheer might, I figured Unity is probably strong enough that he's had some assassination attempts, right? He's probably warded up to wazoo, and like a poisoning probably isn't going to kill him. I mean, I
from
guarantee
what we were
people
told about these, like, this squad of assassins, is like they are like the top honchos for Augustus and Artemis, who is like the military division of the city.
I thought in the thing it said they were going to poison him.
I don't remember it ever saying.
Maybe I don't recall correctly.
Specifically how they kill him. I just know that they were the assassins.
Now, also, if you were trying to justify your decision, I don't think that that's necessary, because I don't think it's a bad decision. I just think that there may have been a better one, and there may be there will be consequences for the actions.
But we already know the target and the location of like where he plans on taking him out, right?
No,
we don't know.
We know the target.
But we don't know where it went.
But we just know that they were coming here to kill him. We didn't know even when they were going to be here to kill him.
Okay.
Correct.
And it just happens that, like, the first night that we're here, we see the guy who's, like, leading the group that's supposed to kill him.
Right. Because I was just thinking, I wonder if there's either A, if we can get that information somehow, or B, just make sure we're always, like, or as much as possible in a position to where we can intervene depending on what we're wanting to do at that time.
Right, that's kind of what I was saying. But
without like making it obvious, but just like if it's poison, recognizing and keeping an eye on what's being poisoned and stuff like that.
Right. But telling does put its sights on the South. If somebody would have had a failed assassination attempt and they didn't capture the assassin red-handed and alive, they wouldn't necessarily know that it was from the southern cities.
True.
And if he never even was able to make contact, they also wouldn't know. And like, I just think that keeping an eye away from where I live and keeping war away from my home is, generally speaking, a good thing.
Yes.
But like I said, I'm not really against your decision either, because like, yeah, you do, beget some allegiance, but it is a scary guy that I don't really want to be aligned to.
Yeah, so the way I'm, like, we have not actually been given any reason thus far in the stories we've heard and anybody we've talked to that he takes anything by force. Right?
No, we definitely did. He took that town by force in the one town that we heard him take.
He didn't take it by force. He convinced, what's his name? Vanfear?
Vanfear, yeah.
He convinced Vanfear to fight him in one-on-one combat and not fight back.
To say that is not forced is, I would say, a semantical.
He did not take it by overwhelming the city with, like, armed troops.
Right, yeah, he's not just, like, going in and slaughtering people.
His way in, I'm going to have to disagree with you because, maybe I'm just assuming, but I would think that Van Fleer would rather live and keep his rule over his country. But I don't know that for a fact, so you're correct.
Yeah, my theory on it was he saw his country joining that cause as the greater good, but he could not. His honor wouldn't let him serve another.
Right. So the greater,
he's not going to kneel.
It would be better for the majority, but not necessarily. Which also means that like he would rather not do it.
Or maybe even better for the kingdom, but he couldn't kneel to another emperor.
Personal
So-
interest over the greater
He
good.
could,
The most.
Yeah.
maybe.
That's how I viewed it, but that was just my
Yeah. No,
thought
I mean, and
process
that's
on it.
which is reasonable. It's reasonable. I also think that there's a lot of other ways that he could keep his honor and not die. Maybe, run away with his family and nobody gets to see his shame, their
See,
self, or
you're
whatever.
talking about the demon of the Gameti Hills here. Okay, you think he's going to run away with his family?
Well, no, I really don't. But like, also, dude, the people. I don't know. This again. This is you and I are both like.
I know
heavily
we are deep in the
conjecturing-
weeds.
Yeah, we're heavily conjecturing on something that we cannot know.
This
But
is
like, people who usually, it seems to me, people who are willing to fight and are good at it, they know when they can't win the fight, and then usually you pick the fights that you can win, and you don't pick the fights you're going to lose. So I mean, like, I feel like if he's as good as as we think he is, he probably could have found a different solution than just dying. Which maybe he's still alive, and maybe that was
Yeah.
the other solution.
It's possible.
But to be fair, I still don't like world domination as.
I would agree that I don't think anyone finds world domination to be the ultimate goal.
Mm-mm.
This guy does, and he seems like and he thinks it's okay or good. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
Unity does. I'm not. implying
he
anything about
believes that he would be best in charge over every other.
Mhm. And I disagree with that. I don't think any one person is best in charge over everyone. Simple.
So
No, and that's understandable, and that's why it's right now we have a couple of different things to look at.
Right. Like what?
Because-
What are we looking at now?
Well, so right now we've intervened in the Augustus and Artemis and Honoria and Gwen conflict with Unity
Right.
as a, I would say, unallied third party,
Yes.
because for us, all our goal coming here was
Mhm.
to sell our product.
Absolutely agreed.
And for this to just randomly happen while we're here is not the reason why we came.
No, absolutely not.
So, us intervening is not.
It's not the primary objective.
It's not the primary objective, but for us
But-
to intervene in the way that we did, it could possibly put us in better graces with Unity,
Yes.
therefore increasing the
that's
chance
not-
of us selling product.
That's not what Parker asked. Parker asked if anybody had any objections to this, and I said I did, and I gave you my objections.
yeah, what I
Thanks,
really
Bob.
want to know is other viewpoints, because like that was just my viewpoint, and
Right.
you guys are critical thinkers. That
And well,
That's
that's
probably-
just, and I feel like I've told you what I think or thought. And like, what's it called? Definitely could be wrong. Probably am wrong. And like, can't disagree with the things that you say because they also make sense. But I just answered the question that was posed to me. Not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
so-
if this was end all be all. If this was the best choice of action, you asked if I objected to the choice of action. So.
Well, it potentially could be the best option. It also could not be the best. It's just depend. We don't know
Correct.
the answers yet.
So
Correct.
based on that, so for the line of thinking where you don't necessarily want to trust Unity, you don't want to get in bed with them, and I don't really want to get in bed with them either. I think of ourselves as like the U.S. in this conflict. Okay, this is a conflict
Absolutely.
of two like South American countries or Middle Eastern countries, and we are going to sell arms to both ends and hope they wipe each other out, and then whoever's left at the end, that's who we take down.
Correct.
Like
More or less.
that's-
Or
And if-
just let them kill the next.
I don't know.
fucking
That the
stuff.
U.S. usually like gets embedded with them for a little while, loses a whole bunch of troops, spends a whole lot of money, and then pulls out later. So I mean,
well, we
maybe
don't
more,
really
more
have
like Russia. Russia's more
Hey,
like
you know,
we'll give
as
you
long
money
as we
and
keep
that's it.
pulling out before we finish, it'll be okay.
I like
So-
it. Good.
Yeah.
Um,
Imperfect metaphors aside.
yes.
Yeah,
that-
imperfect metaphors aside, yes.
To the extent of us being here and then dealing with the ramifications of whatever happens and how upset that Artemis and Honoria are that they're assassination did not work. We still have to sell things, and whether that means trading a few secrets here and there, as long as we still retain the most knowledge, I think it puts us in a better position.
Correct.
Plus, I think it's always going to work in our benefit if we do the more moral thing, which would be to save a life versus letting someone die due to assassination.
That's an interesting take.
It is an interesting take,
Because
Austin.
In this scenario.
This is
Would you have
let's say,
warned
like, Hitler.
the Nazis if
Yeah, I was
they
gonna
were
say, would you-
assassinating Hitler?
Yeah. Would you have assassinated Hitler, Austin?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of
But
where
also-
that's the same morality we're talking about here.
But here's the thing, though, is it's a little weird because I feel like it's this weird reverse of Germany, America, because I feel like where we're from is like you have the prejudices and stuff of Germany where they don't have those prejudices, but they're also led by Hitler. So it's like this weird fucking Twilight Zone type of thing.
They,
where, like,
for all we know, Austin, everyone here could be led by Hitler, and that story just hasn't reached us yet.
that's also true.
Right.
So we're trying to decide things based on knowledge we don't have.
Yeah, I mean, we have imperfect knowledge, but that's the only you can only make decisions on imperfect knowledge.
True.
Decisions made in with perfect knowledge is called reflection.
To say they're just not
So-
decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hindsight.
Yeah, hindsight. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. But
So okay. So what I'm looking for is we get like a little bit of consensus before the next big decisions come up, and we can stop and just discuss them at the time, or at least we kind of know where everyone's at now. That was my goal, because I talked for probably like half an hour with Seti about this.
yeah,
Because I like to theorize. That's what I do. I like to just
same.
run down rabbit holes, like logical rabbit holes. And for me, like, Unity hasn't actually shown, other than saying he was going to make the East and the South pay, I haven't seen any. I mean, hell, he's got like this gruesome strike team that's supposed to be so good in battle, working dock duty at a town. Like, they're not on the front lines anywhere.
No,
right.
but they're sitting in his back pocket to be used for whatever high priority mission comes.
Or
up.
not used.
Correct.
Or not used. What's it called? Maybe these guys weren't first supporters, and maybe he's scared of them.
Possible.
I.e., bridge burners. What? Pardon me. Pardon my slip of the tongue.
Didn't even think about that. That is
First
a
in,
good
last out.
point.
I'm just saying.
First in, last out.
First and last time. I mean, that's exactly what I said in the chat. Whenever about these guys.
Okay.
But
And then
like, you can't. But yeah, you're right. You can't know about these things. But like, these are those. Yeah. If you have any other questions, I'll have to give you my 2 cents.
And then the other thing I was going to say is, does anybody have any good ideas for Kylan?
Oh, I actually, in the break, I went and I was looking for a teacher for her.
Oh, thank God.
I found this old lady that can do spells. But I'll have to tell you about it in the voice of Jonathan.
Please do.
Do we want to? Are we good? Do we want to go ahead and kick things off, or Ryan? Do you have anything else?
Oh yeah, no. So besides, little heads up, you should probably also still decide what you want to do with Kylan.
Well, so as soon as I found out she was A, School of Illusion, B, like from a prestigious family, I was like, man, we could really use like a head information gatherer. Like, that we don't have to go gather information because she can disguise herself.
Right.
Is she mature enough to like?
No.
That's my thing. I was like, I don't know if we could really put her out there like that.
I don't know if she's mature enough, but she's adventurous enough. And she doesn't have to get into things, she just has to get close to things.
She is untrained in the arts, and therefore needs to be trained before we...
That's why I wanted a teacher. So
I could actually teach her disguise self, though. I do have that.
Yeah, I feel
ability.
like right now she's more of a liability than anything else.
If that would be something that we would want to do.
I could teach her a lot of potions.
Yeah, he has potion. I have
Is-
straight up spells.
Can we talk about the fact that she remembered half of her backstory overnight?
Yes.
We took her up in the air once and she remembered everything.
Well, half of it.
Where's she making it up?
Well, I mean,
She
No,
remembered a
it's
lot.
been verified. It's been verified. You
yeah,
asked
what
about the
she
Lady of
told
the
us jived with the Mock Dune agent at the dock.
Good point. Good point. I wasn't really listening to that because I was getting hammered with Austin.
So she did not tell us if she remembered like what family she was from, or that she was from a dominant family. She just thought she was, traveling with some servants. So
Yeah, which she had no idea where she was from or why she was going.
but,
But
I mean,
she was also told that she was going to school for her magic abilities in
I thought-
Mesoponata.
Not.
I thought no, for
necessarily.
diversification. It was
That's right.
yeah. She was going to school there to diversify her education.
That's right.
Oh, I missed you, show.
Right. I guess you're right.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was, because I'm looking for ways to automate the things that we would have to be doing, like information gathering or income, or
Did you look into PowerShell?
so that we can go hunt down some fucking magical stabs.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that sounds.
Now you're talking dirty.
But
We need a spy network, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I figure a 15-year-old from a noble house is probably pretty. I would have thought they'd be mature, but I haven't been really interacting with her. So
It's
Jeez,
not that
a
she
lot of
wasn't
shit in
mature. It's that if we're expecting her to like know how to use disguise self, it's not likely.
no, the thing is, find a teacher for her, get her to basically harness her magical ability, her illusion magic, and then use that to go gather information. If she can, because as soon as he told me, as soon as like I got the description of what she did, I was like, oh, she's Shalon. That's what she is. From the fucking Stormlight Archive. She can just bend light around her face and make herself look different.
It's true.
But I don't know if that actually works in D&D like that.
Why it wouldn't?
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's what disguise self is.
And Shalon is a pretty good information gatherer.
This is true. Lion skank. Excuse me.
But she's in that unique position where she can live that dual life. She can
Yeah.
get the danger and the excitement of being a spy, essentially, and still be this heiress or this prestigious daughter of this family.
Yes, we do.
It's just a little. I think the time needed to get her to the point where she could do that successfully, we don't have while we're here.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, how long? We're only here for what, a couple weeks?
I mean, we're here until we find a way to leave,
Suppose that's true.
because we have no ride back. We're here until we sell ships and we think we can leave.
All right.
Right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
what my understanding of our
I mean-
tenure here was.
Depending on how long she takes to learn, but also, I mean, she's in a pretty fucking good group of examples to learn from, so. We have only done shady shit, I don't know, forever.
So debatable.
Maybe not shady, but controlling of information.
Okay. That was one of the things I was also thinking about. That's about it for me.
No, that's interesting. It's good. Potion seller.
Potion setup.
Ridiculous.
I'm heading into battle, and I require your strongest potions. I found an OP fucking not spell, by the way.
Any thoughts on the video? Now that we've played a little bit.
I changed my original theory of Unity is the Emperor to Unity is his grandson.
And the Emperor is probably alive in the tomb somewhere. Or will be coming back.
That is, I'm 100% in on that.
And that the staffs we need to go collect is probably a key to somehow potentially defeating one or the other or both.
Like, after hearing that video, I was like, God dang it, I should have chopped off a piece of that toxic troll and given it to Unity to see if it affected him.
Yeah. Can they ship stuff over?
Ship me one of those fingers.
Yeah. I want to see that conversation. Troll, I need one of your fingers.
And it also makes me wonder if there's like some massive crystal of knowledge deep beneath Mespenata.
The thousands of facets.
Yes.
Time to go spelunking.
That you can see like the history of mankind in or some shit.
Screw that, we can get a magic staff.
Well, yeah, we gotta pick that up. That's a thing.
The question is it his grandson or is it just another bloodline?
I don't know, I think it's his grandson. Because basically he said to await his return. He's like, it might be 1,000 generations, but I will return.
Yeah, I'm just really wondering if did this video not start 10,000 years ago, or is it just saying that?
I can't remember. Was it 10,000 years ago? I thought it was 1,000 years ago.
But I don't think it. I don't think the.
No,
the
I mean
importance
the
is, like, whether
beginning of the
it's
video is like 10,000 years ago. This and this, and then it like the emperor says it could be 1,000 generations, but I will return.
Oh, well, that's 1,000 generations, 10 years, right? Or is it 20? 20?
I thought it was 30, but yeah, something like that.
There's debate on it. But either way, it's still the. I mean, maybe not the direct grandson, but it's grandson of someone.
That's what I mean, though. Is like it could be like.
Oh my god, 1,000 generations. If
His
it's 20 years,
bloodline?
that's Y2K. Turn off your computers. Sorry.
It's all just an elaborate Y2K joke.
20 to 30 years. So anywhere from 20 to 30,000 years in the future.
Well, it could be. I mean, it could also be, exactly 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Could have taken only 500 generations.
Yeah, that's pretty much what. That's the only thing I could come up with. So anybody else has a different idea, please.
Well, no, and it's one of those things where it's like, the timeline throws me off like super hard. Because in the video, I can't tell if it just is like, if this is a legend from 10,000 years ago, or if it's just like.
I think it's like a flashback. You're witnessing an event.
Definitely a flashback.
And
Yeah.
does it matter if it like the amount of years that's gone by? Because like we gotta remember, like there's mythical beasts and shit in this world.
Well, he also said it could be, not that it would be literally 1,000
Right.
generations.
Right.
Like, so it could be like 258 generations.
I think Unity. This was my theory that I was bouncing off of Suddy, and he, like I said, you can't trust him. He's untrustworthy.
No,
But-
he usually tells the truth. He just says it in a weird ass fucking way.
So the emperor told his grandson to like basically watch, right? Watch all of these people, learn their secrets, so that you can basically bend them to your will. Well,
Pay attention to who rise up and
exactly.
who takes charge, who
And
becomes leaders.
yeah, so that you can then basically put them down, right? And
Oh, I
what did he do? He walked up to that leader of Arwea and put him down.
Yeah, Arlia
knew-
he wanted to do it.
He whispered some things to him, and that was the end of it. So, like, I think this guy's been sitting around watching the dynamics. The grandson's been sitting around watching the dynamics of this, like, city-state area, and he determined that is his easiest entry point. because he can take over one country or two countries, and that dramatically, once two have united, that dramatically changes the balance of power. And then it makes it easier to swoop through and get the rest of them to unite. But he's got something on everybody, and he basically just formed this coalition from all the knowledge that he has gathered over the time that he's been waiting, and he's now making his move to swoop down and take back his grandfather's kingdom in preparation for his return. But also, I drink a lot. That was my theory.
Which I definitely appreciate.
And don't be scared to share your theories, because
Please share your theories.
the
Does it
timeline,
really-
I know you guys have them.
The story.
the story is already set. It's not being changed. So
Yeah, Ryan can build the story to whatever we do or don't guess.
I will.
I like
tell
how
you
he
that
says that
it
shit and
is-
he'll change it still.
It is not going to change.
He's a liar.
I'm giving you these
He's a
hints for a
bamboozler.
reason.
I don't have theories.
You don't have any theories?
No, see, typically
I'm just gonna
speaking,
start name dropping in front of Unity until his fucking eyebrow twitches.
Yes.
typically speaking, I spend more time paying attention to this stuff than I have recently because I've been doing like a whole bunch of shit, like moving and whatnot. So it's been kind of hard to keep that in the forefront of my brain. So no theories. I'm just trying to be the best potion seller I can be. Okay.
Let's see. I theorize that I will be the mortal sword of the realm.
Ooh.
I will be the whisper on the wind.
That was-
Nothing else. Am I the only one who like this bugs?
The what bugs?
I said, am I the only one this bugs? I like it's constantly picking at this. I feel like it's a giant yarn ball. Anyone ever read Maniac McGee?
Yep.
It's Cobbler's Knot to me. This is Cobbler's Knot.
What a weird, obscure reference.
And this is just this giant crusty knot of twine that I want to pick at and slowly pull apart until I
Okay,
can
wait,
find.
wait. I have something to say about that.
What,
You ready?
Maniac McGee?
No. About the wanting to
Oh,
pick
okay.
all of them off.
Yeah.
Do it. But don't do it as Parker. Do it as Coppertop.
So as Coppertop, this is maybe another thing, because Jake, you specifically I was confused about, you are so good at role playing your character.
Thank you.
I didn't
Take
think
great
that
pride.
you cared about any of this other stuff.
No.
And so
I do.
my character only
But-
cares about gaining basically economic advantage so that
Okay.
I can get revenge on my old employers.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I'm out here. I'm trying to just whatever's the most economically
No,
beneficial
that's the
thing.
same with me. I'm just here to chase a good story. And maybe that's something, and that's kind of one of the things I was kind of hinting towards whenever I was talking about us when we took our break to like maybe look at our characters.
Mhm.
And maybe that is something that can still come up. And that we can still find a way to, suit both parts or both parties.
Yeah.
Ourself and ourself.
And there are certain, so for me, my primary goal is to sell as many ships as possible. Like-
Fair enough.
I don't care if I have to betray one little assassin if it means I make a deal for 15 ships.
Fair enough.
That is well worth the trade-off for me, at least for my character.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I also want to go find some fucking magical relics that we can sell too. So
Right. No, and like what's it called? Maybe some of those will pique legends, which might pique interest to Coppertop, and maybe Coppertop sees that wealth doesn't quite always bring him the happiness that he doesn't feel because he has no emotions. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm working on that emotion chip though. We're
Right,
gonna
yeah,
we're gonna
that's
get
great.
that,
We are going to get it. I can guarantee it.
but I will feel only sad.
That is something that I theorize and prophesize.
I just want to have enough money to imbue myself with magic tattoos, man.
We're never gonna get there.
Oh, we're gonna get there. Oh, we gonna get
That's
there.
why I'm trying to start an MLM scheme.
I just want to be head to toe magic tattoo right now, and it's driving me insane.
Austin, what do you think about all this?
I think it would just. For now, I think like as far as theories go, my theory would be that the Unity is being ran by either the grandson or direct descendant from the Emperor, and he's setting things up for the return. Is he the Antichrist? Are we fighting the Antichrist right now?
And we're
No.
just trying to stop it from being summoned.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. No, and plus I think
Antichrist implies that there's a Christ in this realm.
There's multiple of them.
Yeah, and I think as Sylvester, my goal would probably be to, due to my history of war, I'd want to try to avoid future wars. So any chance I have to like derail a war to occur to happen, that would probably be my goal.
So we can't take you anywhere, and we can't certainly not bring you when we sell ships.
That is.
No, because it's a Cold War right now. It's not a war right
That's a good point. And listen, if we can lock it in a state of Cold War, that is perfect.
now. And that's why.
Yes, profits all around.
And that's why I was saying if
Yeah,
with the assassin, if given the chance to, it's kind of like during World War One, the whole thing was kicked off because of the assassin of Archduke Ferdinand. We have to save our Archduke of Ferdinand.
There it is. Interesting. It's an interesting thing.
I will let him die if it means I sell ships.
Balance all anger on the edge of the blade. Balance it all.
Any thoughts on how the Emperor comes back?
Leading objection.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sustained.
Overruled.
That's
Why aren't you
tampering.
in the why aren't you in the game yet still? I see Titty Boy F's in the chat.
I'm
going.
willing to bet he's got to make it back to that big ass blue crystal.
I just don't see your guy in here. I don't see
He
your
just has
I
to
know.
click the character selector.
there it is.
Sorry.
Oh, well, we know more than likely where the giant big blue crystal is.
Do you?
Below messing the pot.
You say, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a good idea where it could be, which I would think it's under Mespanada.
Okay.
No,
Or is it in that place that no one can go to because
it's in
everyone
the
dies?
Temple of Kesh.
Yeah,
Temple
the
of
one that
Kesh.
no one can go to.
Could also be there.
I think it's in the hearts of all of the evil men.
I agree.
So you think the grandfather is Kesh then?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that Emperor Kesh is the emperor. Yes.
You make
And
a good
it's
point
not.
Remember how long he reigned for, but he reigned for like a long time.
Right?
The empire was ruled through a succession of emperors for several hundreds of years, in which they created many architectural marvels. This empire ended when the last emperor, Kesh, mysteriously disappeared shortly after finishing construction of his pyramid-shaped
Yep.
burial chamber.
Yes.
It
This
is
was the
thought that he was
conversation we had at the very
kidnapped or
beginning of
murdered.
this entire campaign, Parker.
Do what?
It's the exact same conversation we're having right now was the one we had at the beginning of our campaign, whether or not he was the person. And that he would come back, right, and bring magic back to the world. Like, that was like the whole conversation that we were talking about at the very beginning.
Well, he'd bring magic back to Mespanada because Mespanada is the only place that's
Yeah,
outlawed.
I mean, yes. Yeah, Mespanada was that was the concern we had, yeah.
I'm also slightly confused as to why Kesh is the reason why magic is outlawed.
Yes.
Yes.
So why would he want to bring magic back?
Because he was the one that wanted it for himself. He's holding on to it like a miser.
Yeah, he
Like a
wants
magic miser.
He was forced out. He wants his kingdom back.
He likes magic, but he wants all the power for himself, and people other than him having magic is a threat to him. So he wants magic outlawed because he wants to hold the magic to himself. That was the theory that we had. Not necessarily that.
So do we think that there's like loyal Kesh followers that are delivering magic users to the
Yes.
crystal in order to power it up to summon
Yes.
Kesh once again?
Oh,
Pretty
snap!
much.
I didn't even think about that shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Like that was like 100% what I was assuming was what they were
Oh.
doing. Was they were taking magic lifeblood to restore what they want.
Oh,
So we probably need to protect Kylan at all costs because she seems to be.
Or-
a very high-level
or-
user.
Yeah.
We could sacrifice her and then follow the people who take her. You know what I mean? Like we could use her as like a sort of bait and you know, get ourselves there by following her. You know what I mean, right? Like
Little.
like we just met her. Like it's not a big deal that she's, you know, might be sacrificed in the the wayside of this whole.
Well, one of two things: she either gets killed, which they can't use her to bring it back, or B, we rescue her and we kill the people who took her.
Or
Yeah,
we lose
see?
track of her and
Yeah, I
can't
mean
get to
that's
the temple.
there's a chance that happens too, but I mean like that's a we can't be like splitting those hairs all the time, right? You gotta take a risk, right? That's take the risk. You risk it for the biscuit. Although no, definitely not with her. No.
Points that come off from that though are: does Unity have anything to do with that?
I don't know. The Unity thing happened after my cache thoughts, my cache theories. So I have no idea. I guess I should say.
Well, that's what I mean though. Is Unity realizing or been signaled that it's time? So he's preparing to bring a force down to meet Kesh, so that they can take Mesopinata together.
That's what I think. I think he has determined that the environment is ripe right now, and if he combines those northern city-states, he will have enough force to basically march through Makdun into Mesopinata.
I mean,
I
makes
guess-
sense, I guess.
So would our goal be to not align or necessarily outright help Unity, but remain close and close enough to know what's going on in the background?
Yeah, like I'm not trying to help him so much as I'm trying to monetarily profit off of him.
So keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
Yeah, but I also
we
want to
can embed
monetarily profit.
malware into the ships, so that the right moment we can
Oh.
initialize the malware and then shut them
An
all down.
exhaust port, gentlemen.
An exhaust, yeah, right. A very small, 1 meter wide exhaust port.
But you can just the way we look at it. So the U.S. doesn't sell the F-22 to its coalition partners, right? We sell the F-35, an inferior plane. You can buy the F-35 all day long. It's a good plane. It can take on most other planes, but the F-22 can destroy it, and we're the only ones who have that.
I don't know what an F-22 is, sir.
He's back. How's the meat? How was the meat? Was it good?
Well, I haven't eaten it yet, but it's done being cooked and the taco seasoning's in it. So hopefully, when Natalie gets off the phone, it'll get brought to me.
Okay, so the other complication is that if Unity is traveling south so that he can help Kesh come back, then Unity would also either have to sacrifice himself or bring more magic users with him, or use what's abilities he has to, give the final push to bring him back. Or they're on completely different sides, and he's trying to reach the crystal to stop Kesh from coming back so that he's the strongest mage.
I mean, that's a possibility, but also, third thing, what if he just embodies Kesh and they share the body and he doesn't have to die for it?
It's also possible. But in either situation, though, eventually he's definitely a conquest in the mind, and he will get far enough south to where at one point we will have to oppose him if we want to not allow him to take where we're from.
Maspanama.
Yeah.
As a banana.
So we're at an opposition at one
I
point
mean-
or another.
It doesn't seem preposterous for all those things. It seems like that would make a whole bunch of sense, but I also don't necessarily say with 100% certainty that Unity and Cash have anything to do with each other, except for they would have to know that each other were doing what they like. They would have to be aware of what either one of them are doing, right? Like, with how much power they're each accruing, they're not just idiots.
But at the very least, they're related in it, and at least the way that he's preparing the correct climate for this to happen. At
But
the
it could very
minimum.
easily be one versus the other, and we would have to pick a side. But I mean, like, we could pick the side towards the end, like Parker was saying once, where we take them out once they're weakened already.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
So we're discussing Unity and Kesh.
Mm-hmm.
I know who Unity is. Remind me what and or who Kesh is.
The old great emperor that made Mespanana a piece of shit that it is today.
Pyramid guy who was
Yeah,
a magic
pyramid guy.
user?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's what I
Mayor-
thought. I just...
Yeah.
And apparently, when he was the emperor, Makdun was a part of Mespanada. It was part of the empire.
Right. Which Makdun is not a part of the Unity lands. Makdun is south, which
Correct.
those are the people who have sent, arguably, assassins north to take out probably the leader of, or Unity.
Bingo bongo.
Yeah.
Bingo bongo, Unity is my dongo.
Hopefully.
Ultimately, though, if we gain enough money that I can tattoo all of us with all sorts of fucking spells, like, we'd be unstoppable.
Margarine. So are we still in the tavern that we went to? I assume it's the next day.
I
I
think
think
Ryan?
we went back to our.
because we
our
already had
inn.
the meeting though. Where did we go? That meeting's over now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Okay, I
left
thought so.
the
The bar, and we're at the inn.
yes.
True.
I think a very important thing is going to be. Hold on. Let me get into character. I think a very important thing is going to be going and speaking with. What rank was he? He had a rank. You know, that guy who we talked to who was real nice to us and wanted war stories. I think we need to go talk with him and see if anything happened with that fella that we recognized in the bar.
Yes, as the great walrus once said, the time has come.
Time has come to figure out what our actions from the night before has actually caused.
Mine are definitely related in a hangover.
I feel like shit.
Yeah, y'all both drank way too much.
Jonathan, why are you in bed with Miss Kylan?
Laid me here and made sure I didn't throw up on myself in myself.
Well, that was nice of her. Even though there's
My-
two perfectly good beds that you could have slept in by yourself, you little pervert.
I didn't even need a bed.
Jonathan's asexual.
Well, there it is. So what
Asexual
kind of
monster.
conclusion as a group did we come to in regards to, obviously the decision from last night was we're trying to keep alive the people we're trying to sell to. I think that's fair, correct?
At least until they pay us.
Or
Sure.
let them assassinate the would-be Hitler. One of the two.
Yes.
Sure, but the would-be Hitler
Is our best customer.
is our best customer, so we really don't necessarily want that.
Are we
With
just
his little mustache and his little voice.
I think we're just Switzerland.
Hey, you boy, get my ship.
Do we just play Switzerland and wait till everyone kills each other and we just sit there pretty in our nice little Alps
Yes.
and all our
Yeah,
Jewish gold?
Our Jewish gold.
yeah, pretty much. Because as of now, our loyalties, if I'm correct, lie to the albatross.
I think they lie with us, not them, and we.
What do you mean? We have loyalties to the Albatross.
So wait, are we in game now?
I mean, Sky.
Yeah, the Albatross Skycutters.
Okay.
Which
Correct.
we are? Are we in game? Oh, we're in game.
I'm in bed, but I'm talking to.
Herschel! Herschel!
What?
Where are you?
He's got turtle ears. He can't hear you very well.
Beep, 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 beep. Herschel!
It's the staircase.
Herschel! Don't wake up on the wrong side of the shell.
I think he's in the shell, and I don't know when he's coming out.
You wake up, please.
All right,
So-
all right.
Whoa! Freaks me out when your head pops out like that.
I thought it came off the other end.
Wouldn't you like to find out?
I will someday. Herschel!
Yes.
I was busy last night.
Well, youngin, what did we find out?
You know, you wanted to find Kylan a teacher. I found one. I found a witch.
Which?
Which witch is it?
The one with the spells.
Is she a good witch or an evil witch?
I don't know. She only taught me 2 spells. How to convince somebody of something and how to put a curse on someone. But I made sure to try out her spells so we know if they worked or not.
I think you were already masters of that yourself before you even met her.
Okay.
Did she
Well,
convince
Can
you
I
she
hear
was
the
a
spells
good
she taught
witch?
me? I think she's good. You can tell me if this sounds like the right one. She told me if you want to like curse someone and make sure they have a bad day, what you're gonna need is you have to go collect things. I think she's like a potion witch, kind of like Eric.
What?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
potion.
I heard my name.
She taught me one of these potions, Eric. She said if you want to set a curse on someone, here's how you ruin their day. You get a jar, you fill it up halfway with rusty nails, you fill up the other half, or well, you know, the same half, you know how that works, with syrup, and then you top it off with urine. And then you shake it up, and you think really mean thoughts about them, and then you go to their front doorstep and you smash it on their front step.
This is definitely an
I
evil woman.
may or may not be understanding this correctly, but you're basically just making it so when they're stepping on their step, it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it ruins their day. It's a curse. I learned it.
Mm.
I tried it out. It was great.
Well, here, at least one thing I would add to this is once you do it, the last thing you do before you smash it is you should say, "You're in luck," and then smash it.
Oh, I didn't. She didn't teach me the magic words,
Oh, there you go.
but it still worked. It was great.
Well, you don't get the whole thing for the free lesson. You got to pay the premium.
I learned another one. We're gonna try it out on Doc later. So, hey, Doc, close your ears really quick. Okay. So this is what she said to do, and this is how we can tell if she's a good teacher or not. She said if you want someone, it's like a mind control spell. I'm gonna see if I can do it. So like if you have like your birthday coming up or something, and you really want something for your birthday, what you do is you take your significant other. Mine's gonna be Doc, and like you take them out and you make them go shopping with you, and then you go to a place where they have the thing that you really like, and you grab it and you look at it longingly and you say, I really like this. And you look at them, and you look back at it, and you're like, and you say, I wish I had this. And then you set it down, and you think in your heart and in your mind, I really want this for my birthday. And then you set it down, look over your shoulder longingly as you walk off, and you say to him, I guess my birthday is coming up. And then you go, you leave, and then it works every time.
Are you sure this person is not just a psychiatrist and also a psycho?
I unplug my ears and say, so you want a beer?
Yes. More than
Okay.
anything, I love beer.
John,
My birthday's coming up.
Will you grab some Mary while you're down there? I could use one of
I
those.
think we're gonna need to find her another teacher.
Why? We don't even know if it worked yet or not.
How do we get out of this room?
When's your when's your birthday again?
It's coming up.
Well, that
We'll
sounds
make
really
sure
good.
we have beer there.
Okay.
Snickers bar. That sounds really good.
Well,
Unity today, guys.
That was the idea.
oh, good night or day. Is it? What is the sun
There
up yet?
literally isn't a door to this fucking room.
I know I
Oh,
can't get out.
Sun
Oh,
is
there
not
it
up
is.
yet.
It's on the
top of it.
bottom part. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, but we can't get out.
We can't get out. We're trapped.
It literally won't let you put anywhere else. Regardless, hey, gents, is it?
I live in a glass
think-
case of emotions.
We were supposed to meet. Go to the Unity's home, before sunup. I
That
think.
is correct.
Is there a
We're supposed
window
to
in
be
this
there,
room?
By sunup.
Is there a window? Can we tell if it's sunup? Where's a window?
It is dark outside.
Why can't we get out, Sally?
We've been
Ah!
duped.
I think
It's
Kesh is
dark
already here.
out.
He trapped us in this room. He knew.
Have we already woke up though? Like we slept and it's still dark out.
Yes, still dark out.
Well, let's go downstairs and see if there's anyone
I would love
Anyone?
to do that.
downstairs.
So you
But
go
it appears that
downstairs.
this door is stuck.
You go downstairs. Different place.
We stumbled out of these stairs.
I'm free.
You go downstairs and you see Captain Rivara sitting on one of the chairs. And he's sipping a drink. Just like a small mug.
Now, remind us who Captain Rivara is.
The watch.
He's the
Captain.
captain of the 5th Regiment.
The one that
likes-
we informed.
Yes.
What a nice guy.
Major
That's the
West
parade.
got it.
Yeah, he liked the parade.
He is Major West.
He doesn't beat his wife. Are you serious?
Sister, but yes.
Same thing.
Oh, Fury.
Same thing. Wait, are you from Arkansas?
Oh.
My next question.
Well, I'm a walk up to Major West. What's his name? Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
Captain Rivera. Captain.
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Are you prepared to meet Unity?
Well, we're awake and it's not light out yet, so I think we're as prepared as we could. Oh, wait, you're over there? Are you that circle that says 5 in it? What-
He's just
Wrong.
yelling across the room.
He's talking in the corner.
I believe we are. And out of curiosity, what'd you think about that story I told you last night? Do you have any time to dwell on it?
It's an interesting story and will require much deliberation.
Not quite sure how to connect that. I don't think I worded it properly, but thanks.
Indeed. So, are you prepared?
Yeah. I look at Coppertop and Herschel.
I do believe we have our pitch ready.
How about our forks?
Are there any final details we want to work out before heading to the meeting?
Where did Jake go?
I don't know. I was just.
I accidentally deleted myself trying to move myself over here.
I was like,
It wouldn't let me give myself a new token.
he's
I was
got
about to
here
ask, 'cause, like,
somewhere.
what fucking mischief is he up to?
That's funny.
Bye, friends.
Well, we could, if we have time, we might could convene over at that gambling table and have a quick discussion if we need to.
Sure. I believe we have time.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the gambling table.
Including
Take my.
Unity, or not Unity, including Captain
No.
Rivar.
No, the captain doesn't need to come over.
No, Captain. If you don't mind staying here, I think it's gonna be a group meeting. Oh, okay, yeah, she can stand over there. All right, who's big blind?
I thought we were playing blackjack.
One of the waitresses comes over and sets down a big tray of glasses that has coffee in it.
Oh,
Thank
This
Christ.
is courtesy of Captain Rivara.
oh, sweet goodness. Wet my morning whistle.
Is that gonna be enough for you, Sly?
I'm gonna need I'm gonna just bring the pot.
I actually have a hole in the top of my plague doctor's mask that I can pour liquid into, and it's got a straw that funnels into my mouth.
What? You know what? Show me the science.
Tubes. I don't
Tubes
know.
and glass.
Tubes and glass.
So, gentlemen, young lady, and slightly metal and wood humanoid robot,
And turtle.
and
Thank you for
turtle.
the
Gosh,
acknowledgement.
wow, we're way too diverse here.
Shoot
Gentle
it
folk.
first.
Well, we're just diverse. They're not important. Gentle folk, do we have any last minute discussions or preparations we need to go over before speaking with Unity?
Well, for our contract, we must sell 25 total ships, correct?
Yes.
Total or
Total.
total?
So,
Okay.
but I would personally shoot for
10?
12 on this end.
The more we sell here, the less we have to sell elsewhere.
Say
That's
shoot for
correct.
25 or 30. I mean,
But,
what's the worst that happens? You sell less?
Well, at this point, we don't know who has the majority of more funds, Mockdoon or these northern city-states. I would assume these northern city-states do, just because there's so many more cities, which means I don't want to give them the advantage of numbers if it comes down to an actual battle. I'd rather Mockdoon have the more ships.
Regardless, I mean, we could try and sell as many as we can to both sides. If we come back and we've sold 30, then, I mean,
Would we try and rather possibly sell some at a premium price and cheaper to others, or just same price everywhere we go?
We were given directive on that as well.
1,500 per ship, I believe.
Well, we were get back to this.
I'm sure there's notes. I'm sure we took some notes somewhere.
There in the
We were
shell.
to sell discounted ships to Unity
Oh.
and sell the remaining ships to Mockdoon at the original price of 1,500.
What? How far down can we go for the discount?
That is a excellent question.
800.
That's-
What?
I believe it was 800
Hi-
dinar.
Now those are the ones with the exhaust port in them, right?
800 gold pieces per warship.
That is fucking massive discount. We can go down to 800 GP. We don't have to start there.
Right.
Bulk discount.
That is what they wanted the price to be, was 800. Whether you want to negotiate up on that is up to you.
Wait, that is what Arabella wanted the price to be?
Yes, hard set.
Oh shit, okay.
But if you want to pull some shady stuff and like skim some off the top, that's up to you.
I'll tell you what.
Well, and at the same time, we try and get
Gwen
some
would
money.
never figure out.
Well, they're not paying us, they're paying Arabella.
Yeah, no matter what, you definitely want to start high and then come in with a lower number because that always sounds prettier. Well, why am I over there? I tripped out of my chair.
So, I assume at this point, there have been no representatives from Arabella to speak with Unity so far, correct? We are
Well,
the first envoy.
Outside
That's
of
what we
Rivora,
have to
right?
assume.
Didn't Rivora speak on our behalf to get this
He
even set up?
To
Well,
get it set up, but as far as
Open a
pricing
meeting.
goes, nobody from Arabella has sent word ahead of us to tell us that the ships would be 800. So if we start at like
Not that we
1,000
know of.
and settle on 8, he'll think he negotiated down when that's actually the hard set price.
Yeah, and even if someone has talked to him, I mean, I think a man can appreciate a little business.
Little dickering.
I
Start
think
at
also
1,000.
we can, if we start them out,
Dickering.
if we start
Or-
them out at the normal price, and then tell him we can offer a bulk discount if he orders so many, take
Yes.
it down to the 800.
Ooh, yeah.
Bulk discounts are always better in the seller's eyes.
We should also bring him some food. For whatever reason, everyone always wants you to bring them food.
Like a cake.
I don't know. They just say,
Like a
"Hey,
cake.
did you bring me my donuts?" And I say, "No, I just brought you your screws, not your donuts." And they say, "Well, I wanted donuts. Granger gives me donuts." And I'm like, "No, they don't. They're online."
Granger, by the way. That's a side point.
Anyways, people like food and sales deals, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want any. Just throwing things out. I heard from people.
Let's get rid of them and bring in fast enough.
Heard that shut up. Okay, well, I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think we should. Well,
6%.
I think we might be able to glean a little info from our friend Rivara. He likes us, doesn't he?
Think so. Wait, who
So
just
maybe he can
disappeared?
help us get a little, maybe an idea on
There he is.
climate and
Yeah, I can call.
what he's looking for.
I can call him over if you want.
It might be easier than going in blind.
Captain, would you mind joining us? We have a chair open for you.
Sure.
Tyler,
Yes.
on the floor. Damn.
Copper Top, would you mind?
What am I? What? What am I? Oh.
Well, I don't know. We just brought Captain over here, and
Oh.
I don't really know why.
I do believe we have our pitch ready, Captain.
Oh wait, Jonathan, you had a couple questions, maybe?
Yeah, I just was kind of wondering, like, you told him about the ships, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any idea, like, ballpark, like how many he's looking for? Or?
I cannot say. It is not my place to be privy to that information.
Huh. Interesting. What do you think about Unity?
He seems like a good fellow. Very straightforward.
That's nice. We like straightforward. That's what we know.
Tell me something, Captain. My partners here are somewhat familiar with the 5th Regiment's history. Could you tell me how much fighting you've had to do for Unity?
Oh, a little here and there. Sorry, I'm getting Discord messages. A little here and there. There's a few smaller towns that tried their might, as you would say, against him, and they were dispatched accordingly. But we were reined in. We could not deal the swift slaughter like we normally would like to. He held us on a pretty tight leash.
Quick question. How did you come to join Unity?
Well, we were at the second town that he came to. Originally, he started at. Let me pull up the map here. Originally, he started at Enshaw and made his way down to where we were, as we were a little bit smaller than Enshaw. And he challenged one of our greatest fighters to a one-on-one duel. And once we saw his prowess, we decided to join up with him.
So, you guys are the second. They're just a little bit bigger than you at the time, right?
Yes.
And you guys have extreme military might, right?
Well, depends on the scale.
Yeah. My friends were telling me about, like, your famous exploits on the battlefield.
Yes.
Why are you guys on the dock?
I assume to just keep us busy for the time being. We've been here for some weeks now, and, well, to put it lightly, soldiers get bored.
You think Unity worries about that?
Oh, I'm sure he does. But it is my assumption that he is waiting for the correct moment.
You think so? Or do you think you guys are always going to be at the fishing docks?
I do not believe we are always be at the fishing docks, no.
And your men will fight for unity?
Yes.
Huh.
Captain,
Yes.
I have one question. I'd like to just see your response. Truly, um, would you give your life for unity right now? I'm not gonna take him any. I'm not gonna. I'm just curious.
Well, it depends on the death. If it is a glorious and legendary death, then yes, I would.
Okay.
And I believe what Unity offers is
Death.
the chance at glory and
Oh.
the chance to repay past wrongs, which have been unforgiven for quite some time.
Okay.
Mind I pry?
Of course. So, Mokdoom and Arenthal, those two kingdoms, have always preyed on the 100 nations that we live in. They come to our towns and they take slaves. They come to our towns and they take our goods and everything that we've worked for. They push us out of our fishing lands, and they have overall just harassed us for hundreds of years. And it is time for repayment on that.
Okay, out of character. We're from Mokdoon, right? No, we're from Esplanade. Mokdoon is the other town in the north that we went and visited.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
I have one final question. Being the elite unit you were, had you ever encountered the Demon of Gameti Hills in combat?
Not personally, thankfully. But it's quite some ways from where we live.
And you did not travel with Unity when he went to Arwia?
I was not present there, no.
Would you say in your experience, he tries to bring nations into the pact with the least amount of bloodshed possible?
If possible, yes. His end goal, from what I understand, is to unify us, not to kill us.
With him being the king?
Not necessarily, no. He views himself as an equal. However, you can clearly see that that is not quite the case. He's much stronger than all of us. All of us combined, even.
So,
But
someone must rule. Who does he delegate decisions to?
well, he lets the leaders lead their factions generally. He brings them all together to have meetings, which I understand are quite raucous. As we're used to fighting against each other, it's quite difficult to bring us all together.
So he still allows autonomy in the individual nations?
Somewhat, yes.
Who is your leader?
My leader. Why do you ask these questions? God damn it.
Oh, sorry, well, I don't know. I feel like it's
1 sec.
somewhat relevant. It doesn't have to be like a real name or anything. I'm just kind of curious if he's still alive and what this guy thinks about him.
You could just say he died in battle to Unity, and then it's now Unity.
Lord Arlist.
Lord Arlist. What does Arlist think about this?
Oh, I'm sure he has his qualms. But, as I said earlier, I'm not really privy to those discussions. He tends to speak with the commanders only.
You wouldn't. That makes sense.
But yes, we've been stationed in Kishar for quite some time now. Unity did ride out by himself to Neduntu and onward to Aria to gather up their troops by himself.
Fucking
He left
confidence,
you guys
man.
down here?
Yes.
That's crazy. Because you guys are crazy. At least that's the stories out of here. I'm sorry, sir. I'm just a big fan.
Okay.
But yes, I was quite sad to hear that the demon of Gemeti perished before I could meet him.
Do you think you'd kick his ass?
Unity's ass?
No, Gametti.
Oh, he definitely did. Yes.
No, you. Would you kick his ass?
Oh, the demon of Gemeti?
Yeah.
It would be a close fight.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, Captain, we thank you for sharing your story with us, and I believe we are ready to go meet Unity in person.
Excellent. Did you enjoy the coffee?
Amazing.
Very much so.
It's
Brings
like
back-
whiskey in his.
It tastes like a warm beverage.
My medicine's my medicine. Your medicine's your medicine. Don't be judging me.
Alright, let us go then. So he takes you outside. It's a pretty nice morning. Pretty cool. The sun is still down. There's a few torches just kind of hanging up on the side of the buildings. As you're in the nicer part of the town, closer to the castle area. He takes you through the castle gates. There's guardsmen rushing around, getting stuff ready for the day, saddling up horses and things like that. He carries you... He doesn't carry you. He takes you into the castle proper itself and leads you into the throne room area. You walk through a back door behind the throne, and you descend some steps, and you come out into the garden. And in the garden, you see a ring of fires blazing. And inside
Do I see Johnny Cash?
No. So it's like a bunch of, almost like bonfires, I guess you could say. Roughly 30 paces across. And in the center of the circle, Unity is practicing his sword play with a teacher, I guess you could say. He's wielding his two-handed longsword in his right hand, and he has a short sword in the other, kind of held reverse grip. And just due to the sheer size of Unity, the long sword just looks like a normal sword, and his short sword looks like a long knife. He has his shirt off. He's just got scars like everywhere. And he is completely drenched in sweat. The captain takes you up towards the edge of the circle, where there's a few other people standing around and watching. But it's pretty dark, so you can't really see too far past this bonfire light. And you can immediately tell that Unity is much quicker than the teacher. And they spar for a little bit, and Unity bats the teacher's sword away and brings up the long knife and stops it right as it gets to his throat. And he lowers his weapons. And he says, "Thank you, Master. That was a fine fight." He starts taking off his, I forget what they're called, but leather pauldrons, I guess, on his forearms, and starts unstrapping them. A little squire runs up and starts to try to help him. And he leans down and he says, "No, son. I got this." And the little kid runs off, and as he's running off, Unity says, "Oh, wait, son, come back here." He hands the kid his short sword. He says, "Master, would you please give this child a lesson?" And this huge smile just shows up on this kid's face. because he hasn't had the opportunity yet to spar with a master swordsman yet. So this is like a huge deal for this kid. As he's taking off his armor, you make eye contact with him, just for a second. He sets down his longsword and finishes up taking off his armor. And a small girl in a yellow dress runs up to him, and she's got a sweet roll and hands it to him. And he leans down and says, "Thank you, child." And he kind of ruffles her hair. And she smiles and runs off. He walks over to you guys. He says, "Ah, you must be from Messinapada. I can smell the stink from over there. My name is Unity. Who might I have the honor of meeting today?"
Dinky McGee and his band of merry friends.
We're from representatives from Arbel Skycutters, a small faction known as the Finders. We have been sent to offer you a deal.
I see. Well, let us get to know each other first before we discuss terms, shall we?
I think that's agreeable.
Excellent. Please come with me to my quarters.
Yeah. Maybe put a shirt on at least.
So he walks back over towards.
Twice.
What did you say, Jake?
So I feel it's kind of weird I have to ask twice.
He walks over towards his stuff, grabs his longsword, and grabs his shirt and puts it on. And he walks back over to you. He says, "Please come with me." And you walk through the dark garden. The sun is just starting to crest over the horizon, so it's like a dim light as you're walking through. You presume that he would lead you back into the castle, but instead he leads you over to the servants' quarters. And you go inside, and there's several beds kind of lined up, about 12 beds in this main room. And he walks to the end and sets his stuff down on one of the beds. And he says, please, have a seat." And
Okay.
he sits down on his bed.
You have beds? I wish we had beds.
Probably a sweet ass bed too.
We slept in a bed last night, you know.
Yeah, but we don't have them in our house.
It's not our bed.
We don't have a house.
That's a good point. We don't even have a house.
Hey, he made some Dovetail made us some fine beds.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He made some benches that we sleep on call beds. We're talking semantics anyway.
Yes, man. My bad. Where are we still? Do we get a new bed or a new map, or are we still the same map?
Yeah, just same map.
Oh, okay. Because I thought somebody said some nice beds. I was like, what the fuck?
No, we're just sitting in this for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's all good. Great.
So as you sit down, he says, "You know, a man's history is the most important thing to his life. And I believe that once we know each other's history, we can truly come to know each other. And by truly knowing each other, then we can come to equal terms with whatever you have brought to me. Is that agreeable?"
I believe so.
Yeah.
Excellent. It is my belief that we can come to each other as men at that point, whether it's made of flesh or metal. So, would you like to start, or would you like me to?
What do you mean, flesh or metal?
I think he's referring to Copper Top.
I believe so as well.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and
thought
I
you were
appreciate the
still
inclusion.
humans.
You did not include my turtle-shelled friend over here, though.
He's got some flesh.
And some metal.
Oh, and some. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Thunder Gauntlets. Damn it.
Maybe he was only talking to Herschel.
Wait, what about the rest of us?
Well, Herschel, if you want to start, I think that's fair.
We well, I mean, I suppose I could.
But I mean, we can have Unity start. He
Yeah,
offered
but
to-
we're guests. I think it's only polite.
I
mean, I
would
can
seem
start
it
if you
would
want.
be only polite for the host to give us a reason why we're sharing in the first place.
Well, yeah, but we are the foreigners into this kind and beautiful area, and sometimes you have to do a little explanation on who you are as the newcomer into the building. I'll start if I have to. You said you'd like some history on us, correct?
Sure. What did you say your name was?
Did you? Oh, the name's Doc.
Doc. Nice to meet you, Doc.
You as well,
Real
Unity.
name.
You as well. I guess the question is, are you? I'm a man of quite. It's with a little bit of a simple mind, and are you exactly wanting an explanation of who we are as a group or individually?
Well, I suppose that's up to you. I would like to know who you are as a group, yes. However, I do appreciate a good story about a man's history.
I have a story. It's a sad story. When I was younger, maybe 5 or 6 years of age, my father, you see, he was kind of a medicine man, a healer of sorts. He knew herbs and took care of multiple villages, and he would be gone for days at a time, going to village, and making sure they were taken care of, and doing simple stitching and concocting of different herbal drinks in order to heal simple wounds. We couldn't do much, but he had some knowledge. And one day while he was gone, a group of roaming barbarians came up to my house, and it was only my mother and I was a young lad, and I couldn't do much to defend. Plus, I was inside, ignoring my chores. Not that that matters. And I heard some loud noises, and when I came out, they were trying to find my father, and I couldn't understand why. I didn't hear why, but I know that I watched my mother get murdered at the hands of these ruthless creatures, and I sprinted inside and tried to grab my father's rifle. And I didn't really even know what a rifle was. I think they were fairly new even at the time, and I went out and I'd seen my father shoot it before, and I just went and aimed and fired, and I hit the man who killed my mother, but it wasn't a good shot, and he got away, and all I could do was sit there and pray and hope that my mother would make it, but slowly she died in my arms, and I had to sprint to the nearest town hoping I knew where my father would be, and I found him, and we were able to go back and bury my mother, but that's all we could do, and we didn't have the money or the capabilities to go and try and venture, and that's something that's been lingering on my heart since that time. And their unity is a little bit of who I am.
Well, Doc, I do understand being overpowered by more powerful men. It is something that I have experienced in my life as well, and I'm doing my best now to make sure that doesn't happen to other people.
I can see that with that fancy sword play. You've seemingly done well for yourself, and I appreciate it.
Let me ask you this. Do you seek revenge?
I would like to see justice. But I also know that, sometimes things can be out of your control, but sometimes you have to be able to make a hard decision when the time comes. I would like to find the man who killed my mother. I don't know what I would do in that moment. But I can tell you now, in this moment, I think it wouldn't be pretty.
I understand completely. Thank you for sharing. Where did you say you grew up?
Over the hills and under the hills. It was in a town, which I will state, blank space.
Okay.
Insert town here. I don't believe it wasn't on this continent, if I remember correctly.
Thank you,
Is that correct? No, hold on. That was a DM question. I'm not from the continent. Which, hold on, real question, because I try and open this map and it's really small and I can't zoom in and I don't know what's going on.
Should be a button to open original. Like if you click on the map.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Click on that. It helps a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So Mesoponata is not on the same continent as Mokdun.
It is, yes.
Okay. I'm from a different continent, correct?
I think so.
I believe that's where we came to.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say.
I think you're across the Gameti Ocean. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. I'm from a long ways away, Mr. Unity, sir. Not from this land.
I see. Thank you.
I just nod my head and move back out of the group.
Well, Mr. Unity, sir, I have a question for you.
Sure.
And I do believe that Doc here did, in fact, ask already, but were you asking for personal stories or just why we're here in general?
Well, I would like to know how you made your way here. But like I said earlier, I do appreciate a good story about a man's history.
I understand. The nature of us being here is one of business and one of, well, some might say humble regret. We have come as an envoy for a corporation down south of here that we did come to aid in your coming strife with the cities south of here. From what we've been told, there is a conflict of brewing, and we only see to, I guess, aid those who wish to make the world, or I guess change the world.
I see. So how did you come into, how did you become beholden to this corporation?
Well, we, if I, think back on my experiences in this city, we, as a group of fellow comrades who had, come together over a few drinks here and there and shared a few stories of our own, that we came together as a group and decided that we wanted to enter a business relationship together and do what we do best. And in order to do that, we did have to align ourselves momentarily with a corporation in order to fund said adventures.
Unity, how familiar are you with the term leverage?
Very familiar, young one.
Yeah, that's how we became beholden, as you call it.
I see. So, I suppose that corporation sent you here then?
Well,
Or did you come on your own accord?
we were so humbly obliged to make this trip so that we might see the light of day of freedom once again.
I see. So, what type of leverage does this corporation have against you?
If I'm not mistaken, I do believe it is
300
that.
gold pieces.
Yeah, it is that of financial burden.
Financial burden. I see. Well, I guess that about sums it up then.
For now.
Would anyone else like to share?
On a side note, there's a thought bubble that goes over Doc's head, and it's like, this is not how I planned. This is not how I thought this was gonna go.
Yeah.
That's what you see when you're reading the comic book version of what's happening right now.
Unity, I will share with you a short story. I have been used by powerful people in the past, and I came together with this group of gentlemen to form a coalition that could get out from under the power of those people.
I see.
And even though we had to use them and have to be beholden to them until such time that we can get out from under them, I will not trade one master for another. So, my only goal in this endeavor is to make enough money to be independent and seek my revenge on my previous masters. So, this trip was our idea. We brought it to Arabella. We have heard what is going on up here, and we feel that you might benefit from our services.
I see. I respect your endeavors. I also see that it is mutually beneficial for both you all and Arabella. Now, Sylvester, I see that you have the look of a warrior in your eye. Do you have a story for me?
Not one we have the time for, but rest assured, all my stories all end in either tragedy, loss, war, or bloodshed.
That is the way of the world, unfortunately.
Been the way of my world. I try to see it that I can try and mitigate that as much as possible. Too many young lives been dying.
Yes, indeed.
I'm hoping that a man such yourself with the power and goals of yours that you might see to it that happens less and less as time goes on.
Excellent. Well, I see we have two little ones, still young in life. Do you have any stories that you would wish to share?
I'm not young.
My apologies.
That's all right.
You just appear young.
Yep, just tiny.
Just tiny.
No, I'm good. I'm good. My name's Eric. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Eric. Jonathan, you said, right? What about you?
Yeah. My name's Jonathan, and I can be whoever you want me to be. That's kind of my thing. As far as history goes, I'm not really sure that any of that much matters. I don't really have much until I met these guys. And so I don't like to see it as history, but as living in the present, mostly.
I see. Can respect that. So, as a group, you said you are inclined to increase your financial well-being.
Just like any other common folk trying to make their way in the world.
What is it that you do apart from, well, doing Arabella's bidding to make your way in this world?
We run a few endeavors, a small tavern and a foundry.
We had aimed to be that of procurers of lost items, but
I see.
other priorities have been set in order to release ourselves of financial burden.
That is a useful skill to have. One that I might be able to make use of, if you're so inclined. But we can discuss that later, as I believe it is my turn to tell you my story.
You are the man of the hour.
Well,
Wait, why you make him feel important?
Rule number 1: degrade him at all costs. It gives us the upper hand.
Have you seen this man's pecs? He's ginormous.
Women use this tactic in bars.
I'm susceptible to them as well.
Well, what seems ages ago, I was born in the slums of Makdum. The Otter District, it was called, bordering the Singrasi River. You see, it gets its name from the sea otters coming up the river during the summer to escape the great sharks. The sharks appear early in the summer to feed off the fish that were left behind by the fishermen around the mouth of the river. You know, I vividly remember the otters sunning on the cobbles near the river, tearing the heads away from the rotten fish that lie on the banks of the river. This caused the fish to try to escape the otters, venturing down closer to the ocean. Of course, the river fishermen chased the fish farther down, which in turn fed the great sharks even more, ever feeding the cycle. You see, Makdum is a place of great disparity, just like the Sangrasi River. The elite class decide the fate of Makdum with their great senate, while the poor slave away on the scraps left behind. So this begs the question, are the poor the fish, ever running from the fishermen, only to be feasted on by opportunists? Or are the poor the otters, constantly being pushed out of their home by greater beasts, only to scrape by on the scraps left by those seeking profit? I debated on this for quite some time, and I still do not think I have an answer. Regardless, the cycle ever continues, and the sharks and fishermen still get what they seek at the sacrifice of the fish and the otters. Just like the fish, I was born into this world to fend for myself. I never knew my mother, and I only knew my father very briefly. He left me in the streets at a very young age to fend for myself. Now, the Otter District was a very poor place. Urchins like me had to make a living in whatever way they could. I scraped by with my hidden talents, taking advantage of any situation that I could. I starved for years trying to make my way in the world. Eventually, I got my hands on a few daggers, and I joined a band of other miscreants like me. We made our way south of Makdum to raid the small trading caravans that traveled between Makdum and Kara. We made our home in Akaz, a small town on the main roadway, where we looted the caravans at the trailing end of the longest part of the journey. Eventually, I was taken in by a family that spent their days cutting wood in the nearby forest to support themselves and other families. I gave up my highwayman days to work in the forest like an honest man would. I worked for that family for many years. That family showed me love and compassion, but they still suffered greatly at the will of the elite class. Their livelihood was taken away when people working for the elite class moved in and started to cut away the forest. Of course, those invading men did not take kindly to a small town villager trying to cut down trees in their forest. I found the family hanging from the trees in that same forest one day. Their legs were torn away by wolves, and their entrails hung down to meet the dirt in a bloody mess. My war on Mach Doom began that day. A rage engulfed my entire being. A demon awoke inside me that day. I traveled to the invaders' camp by nightfall. They had no scouts, no guards. They were all just sleeping. The arrogant bastards were sleeping in their untouchable kingdom away from Mach Doom. That is when I first felt the fire. The camp erupted in a golden blaze. Their screams of agony were like justice in my ears. I began to grow rapidly over a few weeks' time, which confounded me. I was already a man and well into my 26th summer. My skin began to pale, and my hair lost its color. The daggers I once held dear no longer fit my hands. Clothes tore away to be replaced by muscle. So I traveled to the invaders' camp and dug through the lifeless ash to find a long sword and a short sword. I swore on those weapons one day to take vengeance on those that sent the men to Akaz, even if it meant turning Mach Doom to ash as well. I spent the next 10 summers of my life growing in power and setting plans in motion. I eventually made my way to the 100 Kingdoms to unify them against the kingdoms of Aranthal and Mach Doom, which has been oppressing them for hundreds of years. We're unified under a single cause, a single idea that can change the face of this world for forever. No longer will men be oppressed by those for the sake of greed. Every man, every woman, and every child has a place in this world, and that place is not in the slums and beholden to some noble that lies in their flowered bath in their high castle. So what happens when a fish grows old to become a great shark? Will the fishermen fear the terror that he brings to the deep? Will they cower away in their castles and avoid the waters altogether? Or will the fishermen be ever confident that they still rule the waters, only to be devoured by the new demon that roams the dark depths? Only time will tell. And that is my story.
I'll kind of just lowered my head in silence.
Yeah. Quiet contemplation.
And as a warrior of a similar background, has seen similar things and experienced even worse things, you gotta remember, don't let yourself become the next shark.
I think you already did.
Well, my question to you, Unity, is what are you now? Are you the fisherman? Are you the shark?
I am the shark that is amassing other sharks. It is my hope that we will chase away the fishermen so we can have the seas to ourselves again.
I think we have some upgrades for your teeth and fins that might help.
Your You said, great. So about that, about those boats.
Seems like your mind's made up on your path ahead, son.
And how do you expect to bring your sharks to bear on in other seas?
Well, it is something that That's something I've been pondering over for some time now. Marching is all well and good, but it does tire out the troops substantially, especially with the significant distance involved.
Well, as most people who run large campaigns can tell you, the logistics and the movement of troops is one of your highest priorities. And I believe we have some options that can allow you to do that a little more efficiently.
Yeah, as long as you stay in this ocean.
Up until now, you've been facing small city-states in the 100 Nations. If you are going to match the might of Arenthal or Makdoum, you would need substantially better technology. And I believe we can offer that for you.
I see.
Now, when we first met, you made note of the smell. Us from Mespanada. Do you harbor any ill will against us as well?
Well, I was just informed last night that there was an individual from Mesnapada here that is here to attempt to end my life.
Moby Dick, you might call him.
Currently, I am not that pleased.
And did they inform you how you came to be aware of his presence?
Indeed, they did.
So
Then,
it would seem we may smell a little bit less bad than what you may think. Question mark.
No, I am aware that Mesnapada is very similar to Makdoum in the fact that there is an elite class that makes all of the decisions. And
Kinda.
you have been
We're pretty good about
influenced.
letting him do that, though.
I see that you have been influenced by some of those decisions.
Yes, we are influencer of decisions.
it's correct, but do you not have established a ruling party in your 100 Nations?
So, to tell you the complete truth, I have not yet decided if I hold any ill will against Mesnapada.
Let me ask you a question. Do you hold ill will against the dirt that's used to make an ant mound? Just because there's some things that are surrounded by something that stings doesn't mean the thing that was used to make it what it is evil.
Indeed.
That literally came to me on the fly. That is some good stuff right there. Think about that maybe for more than 2 minutes. Feeling really good about what's coming out of my mouth right now. It is definitely not the Tito's.
Stinging facsimile.
So, put yourselves in my shoes. What would you do in this situation? Would you end the killer's life? Would you let him lie in wait and see what he does?
That one, waste his time. They'll just send more.
You know what they say on the battlefield, you wait till they see the whites of their eyes. That's what I'd do.
My mom always said if you kill one fly, 3 more attend its funeral.
I feel that if you allow him to attempt whatever it is he's going to attempt, and you let him know the futility of his actions, send him back to his masters. Let him be your messenger of your might.
Let's see.
With maybe one less finger.
So, do you happen to know who his masters are? We can pause at any time
Yeah, I have a question
Yeah.
for you.
and like go into party talk
Where's
outside of
where's
game.
the
if we
devil of
need to.
Gameti?
The demon of Gameti?
Yeah, that one.
Unfortunately, I had to slay him.
Did you though?
Indeed, I did. He was a good man.
Had to, or you did kill him?
But I had to.
So you didn't kill him.
I did kill him.
He's alive.
Oh my God.
Wink, wink. I got it.
I got it. Where do we find him?
Yes, child. You can think as you will.
When you killed him,
What?
did you kill a man or did?
Did I kill a man or what?
No, there's nothing to be said here. You didn't kill him. I refuse to believe.
Well, from what I can tell, talking to the captain earlier, you've been fairly successful in bringing the 100 nations together with minimal bloodshed. Why
When
was
you
it
like. Go
why
ahead.
was it you couldn't bring the demon of Gameti Hills onto your side?
Well, each man has his own honor that he must uphold. And he wanted to retain that honor. So he left me no choice but to kill him.
Would you maintain your honor unto death?
Yes.
It is my personal goal to do that, yes.
But you went to Arya alone, correct?
Yes.
That's somebody I can't follow.
And he felt even with the might of his army, he could not defeat you?
You see, in this area, great strength is recognized as great leadership. And more often than not, when an individual comes along with a greater strength than the current leader has to fight to retain his leadership status. Even if it is the better move to let the stronger individual take control and lead.
So tell me, how do you make decisions? Have you not just become an emperor yourself?
In some ways, I suppose you could say that. But I am not driving them to seek revenge or take revenge on Makdoom and Aranthal. They want that for themselves. I am just the catalyst that will make it happen.
But you still have the institutions that rule the common man, correct? Not every citizen or every person has a voice in your decision-making process.
Oh, indeed they do.
And how is that?
I do my best to hear every person's thoughts, if possible. I've had many a sit-downs just like this with many of the people that are here currently. I've heard their comments and concerns, and each one is weighed appropriately. And at the end of the day, they all want the same thing.
And that is?
Revenge. Justice. Whatever you call it.
Well,
They want to repay the wrong that has been done to them.
I believe we can offer you the means to do that.
Excellent.
I've noticed that you do not have any airships uh, in your military, as at least none that I've seen. Is that correct?
Somewhat correct.
Oh, have you purchased a few?
We have acquired some.
Well, they're no doubt Arabella models. So you have seen our craftsmanship firsthand. But we have been authorized to make you a substantial deal. We understand your plight here, and we don't believe that you harbor much ill will towards us, particularly. And we are in the business of making money, and I feel this is an opportunity that could be mutually beneficial between both parties.
I see. What you doing, Chris?
Oh, that was literally meant nothing. I was just curious what it would roll. I'm sorry.
Hey, Sonny, how big are these warships? Like, how many personnel can they carry?
Pretty substantial. It takes around, I don't know, to effectively man one between like 50 and 60.
And then I'm guessing there's still like cargo area. They can
yeah.
probably still transport
Yeah.
troops too.
Substantial, yeah.
So like maybe 500 personnel can be carried.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so far, our intel said he had 50,000 amassed so far.
Mm-hmm.
So 100 ships is what he, ideally, is what he needs.
To carry everybody, yeah.
To carry everybody. Now,
Doubt he's gonna have
to
everyone
carry,
there though.
yeah, to carry a flanking force, or maybe a force to circle around behind, and maybe 20 ships
Mm-hmm.
carry a substantial flanking force. Okay. I just need to make sure.
Alec, you want to do anything?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say I brought a pamphlet along. It's gonna be a trifold. Okay, it's gonna be a trifold, and it's gonna have the front of the boat on the front, and then it's gonna, when you unfold it, it's gonna be like a bisected. It's got the different levels. It's got the armament. It's very nice. It's a very nice brochure.
Very professional.
Yeah, extremely professional. So I'm gonna.
And it has the Skycutters embossed logo on the very
Oh
front.
no. Check.
What is he doing?
Do you not like your boss?
But here are the latest model warships that we have available, and there's.
Oh, that is amazing.
And you will find there is no more efficient way to transport your troops or provide air-to-ground support for the troops that are already on the ground.
I see. Let me ask you this. Does Arenthal or Mokdun currently have any ships like these?
They do not, to my knowledge. Arabella Skycutters are the only ones in possession of this technology.
I see. I'm sure they've made other sales to other nations, presumably.
They have, but they may have, but not to my knowledge.
Why do you want to buy them out of their stock?
I see. So, that begs the question then, how much do they cost?
Well, as you can imagine,
For you, they're free, Unity. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, shut
I didn't actually say that. This
Oh.
was Tito's talking.
as you can imagine, manufacturing something of this magnitude is substantial, and normally they are sold at 1,500 gold per unit. That being said, you appear to have a rather substantial need given the size of the army you have amassed. And we have been authorized to give you a bulk discount if you purchase a set quantity of ships.
I see. So, how many are you willing to part with?
Well, we manufacture on demand, so we can part with as many as you need. But in order to get the bulk discount, there will be a minimum order requirement.
I see. And what might that minimum order requirement be?
Quick side.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do we want to make the minimum?
1 million dinars.
I was going to say 20,
I
but
was gonna say 15 or 20.
30.
I would like to have input on this conversation, but I need to add this so that we can look at it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Realistically, he's needing, what, 100 ships? And we're giving him a little bit of a front?
Oh my god.
100 to
shoot.
move his entire force.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
Okay,
if you-
okay.
unrealistic.
This
yeah.
is amazing.
100 move his entire force. Why don't we shoot for 30 ships? If we're shooting for a little bit higher cost, why don't we shoot for a little
Well,
bit higher number?
because
we want this war to go on forever. We don't want him to crush.
yeah, I want him to make this is the minimum. Now, if he wants to buy more than that, that's great. But I want him to be able to make the minimum. So if 30 is too high, oh, look at this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This
Where'd
is
you have-
beautiful.
what?
Hold on a minute.
What about also the fact that we sell him 30? Let's just say, hypothetically, before, whatever. We sell him 30, then we go to Mockdoon and say, wow, I've heard they have 30 ships.
Oh, shit,
That may not
so-
work. Never mind, take it back.
I mean, I would set it at.
We come back over like, we need 100 ships. Chop down all the trees and hire more nations.
So
I would set
looks
it at, like
15.
Yeah, I would probably set it at 20. That's enough to carry either a fifth of his force or a substantial supply chain, and provide enough air support for his forces.
Are we worried about Mockdoon getting crushed?
No, because I think Mockdoon. So we have Kylan to help it's part of a very substantial family who probably has a lot of influence in the Senate there. So I think we can convince them once they know that Unity has 20 ships. We could probably convince them to get at least an equal number of ships.
Plus, if you have to think about it too, by the time they go to war with Mockdoon, they're going to be weakened, and then as they spread out, they're going to be spread too thin.
Yeah, because they also have to take on Arenthal. So we can even, if we want to, take a little side visit to Arenthal. But they got to take them on too. Those two countries are first in the chute prior to them even turning towards Mespenada.
I will remind the party that we make more money off of Mockdoon ships.
Good point. Higher margin.
Yeah. Because they're so much more expensive.
Because they're not
don't know.
being sold at a discounted rate, but that also means that they might not buy as many. So
Yeah, I don't think they'll buy as many. So I feel we should set the bar a little higher here, and then that way we only need to sell at least 5 ships to Mockdoon, but we can probably get more than that.
17 and a half ships. That's our minimum.
Jonathan needs to leave and start making connections around the city.
I would say 15 is minimum here,
He is
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
and 10 is minimum for Mockdoon.
Yeah.
If he wants to buy more, he can buy more. If Mockdoon wants to buy the same amount, they can buy the same amount.
Okay, 15 minimum here.
Yeah, but 25 if he wants us to, us to sign a non-compete clause.
Oh, I kind of like
That
that.
is genius.
I kind of like that.
We
I
make
mean, you might as
slightly
well
less
go
money.
high if you're gonna sign a completely non-complete might as
What?
well.
Yeah, I'd have to rethink.
Don't sign a
some,
non-compete and just make even. You want to go high.
Yeah, no, but you have to get the discounted rate.
I don't
So
want to make it.
25 is bad. We would want to have like, what is that? Probably 30. I can't. There's not a continuation of this chart,
Yeah,
but I
no,
imagine it'd be like 35. Probably would be
can you do
the
it to like 35 or 40? Would that
Would
be
be-
too difficult?
would be our good autonomous rate. If we do 25, we're just meeting goals. We don't
It would
meet
be
goals.
like 35 and a half.
Who the fuck meets goals? We break
Well,
those
meeting
goals.
doesn't
Or
make
I
it-
guess it'd really be like 34. 34 would get us to
Autonomy.
autonomy. Yeah.
I see.
I say we set it to 20 then, and then we try and get 15 ships out of Mach Dune.
Hey, I'm down.
I mean, even if we get 10 ships out of Moncton, that's still.
Yeah.
Still
I
pretty
think we
good.
could probably set it to 15, sell them on an extra 5 or 10.
Yeah, we probably could. He seems like a smart guy. He sees the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, smart thug.
And he also did mention that he had maybe a possible task for us, so we could possibly negotiate something like for more ships or something like that, and we could potentially do a certain task at a lower rate if he buys more ships.
Or as like a bonus.
Or as a bonus.
Signing bonus.
You buy 21 ships and we get to keep one.
Yeah,
Oh.
signing bonus.
I like that.
Warship. So we're setting to 15?
That would, I mean, I would say minimum of 15. If
Minimum
he wants
15,
to buy
try
more,
and-
he's more
try
than
and talk
welcome
more.
to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we can always set our minimum higher, and then say, well, we like have to come back with 15.
I'm just saying this is the minimum amount he has to purchase before he gets the 800 gold price. Which makes, because if you buy 14 at 1500 gold, that is stupid expensive versus 15 at 800 gold.
Yeah. I mean, 14. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a whole different graph.
Okay.
We don't have those numbers yet.
Okay, we can go back.
Okay.
Right back to the conversation. It would be a 15 ship minimum order, but given the size and needs of your army, I would suggest you go a little bit more than that. But if you can order at least 15, we can get you 800
Okay.
gold per ship.
Pause. I have to go, but just tell me how it goes.
Will do.
Lots of fun.
Hey, buddy.
Night, friend.
He will not leave the call, so we can continue.
15, you say?
15, but it does come with a substantial discount. It is almost 50% off.
I see. Well, man, Jake really left at the wrong time here.
Oh no.
So,
Well,
kind
is-
of what happens when we don't start until 9.
Yeah. As I say, it is already 10, almost 10:30. I mean, if we have to, if it'd be better for the group, we could just postpone.
Nope.
I was gonna say, we've
Nope.
postponed it from last week because we met the same issue.
Good point. All right, carry on.
We're close-ish to a stopping point.
Okay.
So. $15.
15, that is correct. Now, each one of these ships does require a crew of roughly 60 and can transport around 500 personnel or supplies. So it would substantially bolster your supply lines and your ability to put troops in the locations that you need them rapidly.
Now, I heard you were inquiring about the Staff of the Divine. Is that true?
We have heard a story about it on the way here. That is correct.
I see. So I'm sure you're aware that it is thought to be in the Gameti Hills.
That is what we've been led to believe.
Now, would it be fair to say that you desire to find this staff? Being as a group such as you are, seeking out artifacts and hidden things, I can only make the assumption that this would be quite the find for you.
It did cross our minds.
Sidebar: are we still in the courtyard, or are we like in a?
You're in the servants' quarters right now.
Okay, that's yeah.
Pretty much by yourself. The captain is not there.
Uh huh.
Yes, we had planned to swing by there once our business was finished here.
I see. Well, I guess I have a proposition then. I'll
Does your
purchase.
proposition include 15 ships at 800 gold apiece?
I will purchase 25 ships and allow you passage to go search for the staff. Is that amenable?
Is there something that typically blocks people from access in that region?
And is there a reason why you're adding an additional benefit to us without claiming anything in return?
Well, that is something that... Well, the staff is something that I did desire, yes. And it would possibly be something that I would be willing to purchase from you as well. However, I do need the ships here very quickly. So that is my offer. You get the ships here as quickly as possible, and I will let you hunt for the staff as soon as the ships are here.
Could you perchance throw in a transport for us with your new purchased ships to back home or wherever we may need to go? Long as it's on the way, of course.
Yes, yes. I do believe that I could send you back on one of our ships that we currently have.
$25 ships at 800 gold per, and we have free reign once ships are delivered to search the Gameti Hills.
Yes.
And a guaranteed trip back.
Yes.
Just
that's
one moment.
All right, go ahead. Sidebar.
Okay, sidebar. So how are we going to get down to Makdoon and negotiate that? Because ideally we need this to be done at the same time.
What has to be done at the same time?
We want Makdoon to receive their ships roughly at the same time as Unity, because otherwise it's going to be fucking lopsided. If Unity gets all 25 ships and Makdoon doesn't have a single one.
Well, how would they know when the Makdoon got their ships?
They wouldn't, but if we're going to stay here until all the ships are delivered so that we can then go look for the staff, we never have an opportunity to go negotiate a purchase deal with Makdoon and get those ships on order.
I don't think he said that we had to stay here till they were delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, as soon as this deal is done, he would send you back to Messinapata.
Oh, okay.
On one of his ships.
Yeah, so that we could go put the purchase order in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And get the ships going back to where
to them.
he's at. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. I'm
Yeah.
not worried anymore. Then I think this is I think this is a little shocking, but it's a great deal.
I mean, we might just throw the world into utter chaos, but hey, what's the cost of becoming autonomous?
Hey man, it's already in chaos. All you gotta do is we gotta figure out a way to harness it and bring it back in.
And make sure it doesn't shit all over us and our automata.
Yeah.
So, new names and new faces for Mockton.
Mm-hmm.
Will be the,
Well, Mockdoom, we're gonna get a nice little Kylan introduction.
yeah, but we're the finders to Unity, but we'll have to be the seekers
Uh,
to Mockton.
Rather on the nose.
Well, I mean, just so when they ask which sales team sold them ships, they don't both say the finders. Hey, wait a minute.
well, I mean, Arabella, from what I understand about the lore, is the only company in the world that makes airships.
This is true.
Yes,
So-
but that doesn't mean that they have only one sales team.
I mean, sales team doesn't matter. You're buying from the same company.
Yes, but if we're saying to Unity's face, we have no knowledge of them being sold ships yet.
But we don't. We have not made a contract with them. We
Also-
did not lie.
We're
Just-
not lying.
We haven't been there yet.
But also, just for the sake of, if he sees us face to face for whatever reason in the future and knows that we did that, he's probably gonna think a little bit less of us.
That's more of what I was.
Yeah, it's
When he comes to take over Messinopada with his 25 airships.
well.
I'd love
All that
to.
matters.
No,
all that matters
surely,
is they.
surely MacDoon takes down some of their airships.
All
Yeah,
that
the
matters
ones
is
that he
they,
already purchased.
they buy the airships, right?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, business-wise, that's all that matters.
If we send Kylan's brother in, who's like taking over their senatorial duties essentially from the dad. If we send Kylan's brother in with the idea, and he's the one who convinces him to buy the ships, no one needs to know we're even involved.
Or we just get involved and say, screw it, business is business.
Good point.
If we're here to make money, we might as well go make it.
All that matters is that they buy the ships. It doesn't matter that they know that we made them buy the ships.
I'm
I
not
do
making
think it-
anybody do anything.
We convince them to buy the ships. Put it that way.
Yes, well, I'm fine with selling 25 ships at the 800 gold profit margin.
No, I'm
Shit.
good with that as well.
Not
Shit,
profit,
yeah.
at the 800 margin.
Okay.
Because that already meets our goal, and then everything else is gravy.
Well, we need another 5 ships to become autonomous.
Right. But
So-
as far as, I mean, worst comes to worst.
We're still making money, we just still have to pay stuff off.
Yeah.
So,
This is a great chart. This chart makes me happy. Just looking at it makes me happy.
what I went for.
Those things.
Okay. I like the color choices. In that case, Unity, I believe you have a deal. 25 ships at 800 gold per, to be delivered ASAP, and you will give us passage back to Magdoon to put your order in.
You mean messing
Or Mespanada, sorry, Mespanada.
Awkward.
Okay.
Yeah, give us passage to Mark Dune for
Freudian
no
slip.
reason.
Excellent.
My bad.
Excellent. He stands up and extends his hand.
I will shake it.
He extends his hand to all of you.
We'll
What, like,
also,
he wants us all to kiss it?
It's an awkward handshake.
Shake it. On a deal well struck.
Hopefully it is mutually beneficial.
Might maybe have a celebratory drink. Get him a little whiskeyed up, see if we can find out something different.
First, I must take care of the payment. Correct?
Preferably.
Alright. Wait here. One moment, please. He walks over to a table that's inside the servants' quarters. It's got some like parchment and quills and stuff. And he begins writing on the parchment. And he comes back over to you. And on it is a it's basically a letter that outlines the confirmation of transfer of gold between a bank in Cornelia and Philodendron to Arabella for 20,000 gold pieces.
Damn, I like the sound of that.
Okay.
How many gold pieces?
20,000.
Damn.
5 ships at 800 gold.
That is how math works.
And at the bottom is a signature that says Era.
Money man. You said it was from Philodendron to who?
Cornelia and Philodendron to Arabella.
Dude's got money everywhere.
Unity, Era, is that a family name?
Oh, it is what I used to be called.
Hmm.
Yeah. Drink in celebration then.
Excellent. And that is where we will end.
Yay! Time to get drunk with Era, or Unity, or the Antichrist. It's probably bad.
Yes, Alec. So it would be like the equivalent of looking into the sun when you look at him through the glasses.
Ooh,
Oh.
he's super strong. I bet we could get more than 20 silver for him.
Although that would that would explain why he would literally grow in size and strength when he tried to kill people.
So we get that deal that you put, we get 0.666%.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So we just made 133 gold.
Mm-hmm.
We owe 100 gold for the original purchase. Then we owe what, 40 gold for the purchase of the finders.
125 from the original. Sorry, hang on.
Haven't we paid off some stuff? Or not paid off, but made payments towards some things?
Just very. I mean, it like.
I mean, it has to be
possible.
minuscule. Yeah.
We haven't even done a 1 month, our first month payment on like the mortgage yet.
Oh, yeah. I guess technically we've only been in this doing things for the
2 weeks.
Maybe, yeah.
I've paid wages twice. Let's put it that way.
I'm trying to find the.
I thought it was 100 gold for the initial corporation, and I think we paid 40 gold for the founders, the foundry.
Technically, it was 32.
Ooh.
I think. But it was like 32 and some. I have the sheet somewhere. I just can't find it. I had it up earlier.
Yeah, 32 gold pieces over 10 years.
Yeah, so I just calculated it at 55, and then the 125 for the initial
Yeah,
written
Incorporation.
55 was with interest.
Yes, which is what I set it at, just
Yep.
knowing that we would need.
So principal amount should be around like 32 right now.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like
You haven't
any
even
higher
made your
than
first
33.
payment on it yet.
And I thought there was 100 gold for them to get our incorporation documents.
That was the initial investment by Alexander Arabella to start your business.
But
Okay.
he did tell us that if we wish to purchase our complete autonomy,
It'd be 125.
It would be,
It would be
125.
a written notice and providing 125 gold pieces.
Okay.
Have we discussed what we're gonna do once we gain autonomy? Autonomy, whatever how you fucking say it.
I mean, that's when we get to do our own stuff.
Yeah, it's just when we get to fuck right
Right.
off.
But
And
I
Take
imagine
a
we
trip
would.
on a rocket ship.
Yeah, but I imagine it would still we'd end up throwing ourselves into the war and then trying to adjust it to fit our own wants and desires.
Yeah.
Based off our own principles and moral codes.
I mean, I'm here to grow this business as aggressively as possible.
Yeah, and definitely prioritize our Smith and tavern not being blown up by airships we just sold.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So
We just need an
confused.
insurance policy for that. We'll be fine.
I don't think the insurance policy matters if the country was overrun by a tyrannical ruler.
You would be surprised on how insurance policies work. But
That's some good fucking insurance.
Depends on who's insuring it. If we get
Yeah, that's
insurance
true.
through Unity,
Just
Maybe we
a
should- Maybe we
just
should get a
look
couple
into
policies.
just
a
look into
question.
GM and Opel in Germany and figure that one out.
Just a question: is it worth shrugging off Arabella so quickly?
oh hell no, no, we're gonna play all
Not to
parties.
shrug them off. We can pay off debts.
Yeah.
Get them to shrug us off.
So
We still have a relationship with them.
I'll jerk them off. I mean, shrug them off.
that the biggest benefit of being out from under them, being autonomous, is that now we can work all the different corporations. Right now we if we go try and work a corporation that's at odds with Arabella, we risk biting the hands that feeds us.
True.
But once we're out from under them, we can work for anybody.
But also, we still probably don't want to.
Not saying that
do
we
anything-
will.
Yeah. But we probably still want to keep a good relationship with the Skycutters because I imagine we'll be pretty close knit after these deals go through. They'll like us quite a bit, considering
Yeah.
the amount of money we made them.
Ryan, did we lose a notes tab?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, it was
I-
on the calendar. That's where it was.
Oh yeah, probably. Oh shit, I need to update that. Also, we're like forward several days.
Yeah.
I think we're
It was the
4-day
12th.
trip.
Yeah, that's where it was. Okay, so the 12th of
plus a
August
night, so it's
is
the
we got a loan for
27th.
32 gold pieces over 10 years to pay for the foundry.
Monthly payments. Set up Arbella.
So technically, to pay off the loan and go autonomous, we really only needed 157. And that graph is set to 180.
Okay.
So
8.
selling an extra 5 ships just really puts a little more money in our pocket, plus allows us to become autonomous.
Oh, 30 ships?
For what?
Sorry, 30 ships? Yeah, sorry. I told you 20,000 gold. It's actually 24,000 gold.
Wow.
Wait,
Oh, I thought it was 20.
no, I did. No, it was 20.
It's 20.
Oh, you said 30 ships.
No. You bought 25. I mean, I'll take 30, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, if you want to buy a 30, that's
sorry.
cool.
Sorry, the extra to Mock Doom. Right.
The 25 clears our sales goal, so it means that we get the profit margin. Because that was also the deal that we made with Glint, was that if we didn't sell at least 25, then he wouldn't give us the profit margin.
Right.
So the 25 is done. Now, basically, whatever we sell to Mockdoon is profit.
If we can get them to buy 15 ships, we get like another 140 gold. I think that would be fantastic. we might even be able to convince him. So now we know that he's planning on hitting them and Arnthal. And I don't know what Moktun's working relationship is with Arnthal, but I know that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they might be able to go in on it and split the cost. And then he's got to fight two fronts.
I mean, if we sell 15 ships, it nets us like 125 gold,
Buddy.
which buys us exactly one tattoo. Something else.
Fucking tattoos are so goddamn expensive. So expensive.
But yeah, no, I mean that's if we didn't sell any ships to Mokdun and we just called it quits after that, which there's no reason to, but we would only be in the hole 25 gold. And really, we wouldn't even be in the hole. We could pay off the foundry, and then just save up until we have 25 to get the 125 to go autonomous.
Also, how much do you think? So the staff we go get from the hills of Gameti or whatever. Unity did say he wanted to buy that. We could decide not to sell it to him, but I wonder how much he would buy that for.
Probably a decent amount.
Yeah. So that'd probably be a very difficult decision to make, depending how powerful or substantial that item would be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get off. It's 10:30.
Okay.
All right, man.
Very good.
See you guys around.
Hey, but
Adios, mi amigos. Technically, it would have just been mi amigo, but we don't have to harp on my grammar.
blame it on the Tito's.
Always a good point.
Blame it on the Tito's.
What else was there to look at?
Any thoughts on Unity now?
I mean, I don't know. I think I like him more. I don't know.
I think it just kind of confirms what we thought about him.
Should have rolled a deception check when he told us the story.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Although he didn't seem like that's some pretty honest telling things.
Yeah. Well, and he said he grew up on the streets of Mokdun, but he didn't say when.
Oh, right. Going back to the
Yeah.
the emperors. Yeah.
I have no idea how long he's actually been around.
Although if your granddad's the emperor, you probably grew up in a palace or was some type of. I don't see you growing up with the streets.
Yeah.
Except for when your granddad, who's the emperor, was the last emperor.
It's overthrown, and there's a rebellion.
And he did say he only knew his dad for a short while, so that might line up. Because he may have been just a baby or basically.
I mean, technically, we're still with him, right? Like, he gave us this piece of paper. We haven't, like, walked out of his...
Right.
Well, we did say the last thing was time for celebration and drink, so I guess that's what we're doing, technically.
Fuck yeah, we're drinking.
Yep, drinking.
Which does tend to loosen the lips. Oh, shit.
See, the other thing is that elves live significantly longer than most of the other people here.
Oh yeah, is he Elven?
That's what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, yes.
Oh, well, that kind of shoots my theory to shit, because I don't think the people in Mesfinata are Elvish, are they?
No.
Human.
Not that we've seen, at least, right?
Messinpata is more of like a melting pot.
Yeah, but I thought that...
Do we know what Emperor Kesh was?
He was not Elvish.
I personally don't think that they have any connection. But
I mean, at this point, I'm thinking it's more and more clear. I don't know. It's just like he was the super powerful magic user. I don't know. But this guy also was nothing. He was just some little fucking street waif highwayman
Yep.
who all of a sudden was imbued with this ridiculous power, grew a foot and a half, and gained muscles.
He may not
And
even
he
be
has-
aware of his
Yeah.
heritage.
He has no idea how.
So true.
Pretty good.
Need to write down a list of questions to ask him over drinks, I guess.
That's right.
Like
Yeah.
why he goes by Unity.
Because he wants to unify the people.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah,
think of the name that he put down?
Well, it's oddly
The
close to
signature.
another name we know. It's odd.
What name is it close to?
Arabella.
That's with an A.
Yeah, that's an A. Isn't like Era or errata like just error?
No, Arata is something else.
Wait, what was the name he put down? I think I may have misheard it.
Era.
ERRA.
Now there is a town that's called
I
or a
see,
city that's
okay.
called Arantal, which is ERATHAL. Maybe he's, I don't know. We could ask him how he got his name, his real name, or if it has any meaning.
That we could.
Fucking website. Hmm.
Fucking gods of pestilences.
Wait, what?
Son of a bitch.
What?
You son of a bitch.
What?
Is he putting hidden meanings behind names now?
Never. I would never
The
do that.
Akkadian plague god.
The Acadian plague god.
Bless you.
An omen, one might say.
One might also say, oh man. No, not a good enough joke.
That
Okay.
works.
Thanks.
Hee 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 hee. What other weird religions have you studied, Ryan? I need to know more things about the secret things you know about.
You're gonna love when you figure out what Kylan means.
Alright, I'll spend an hour on Google. Hold on.
It shouldn't take that long.
A unicorn of Chinese myth.
Picked with
Picked with the tail of an ox. Like so.
Deer. So what the
Oh,
fuck?
she represents luck and happiness, though.
I like both of those things.
Same.
Fucking keep her around.
Specifically in East Asian cultures.
She's the Chinese dragon.
Chinese fairy tale. Got a dragon or a lion. Oh.
One of the 4 divine creatures. Hey, just like me.
You're a turtle.
Yes. The phoenix, the dragon, and the turtle are regarded as the 4 divine creatures. There's one other one, but it doesn't tell me.
lion, I guess, because Kylan says that Kai is the lion or the dragon, and Lynn is the female, which is the dragon or the lion. One or the other. The male is one, and the female is the other.
Specifically, the part where it is said to appear with the imminent arrival or passing of a sage or illustrious ruler.
What a coinkadink.
Jason Crow. I didn't think I was gonna have to fucking Google each one of these names.
Yeah, you better go back and look at the captain names.
Yeah, just tell us which ones are the important ones. I don't want to be Googling some random ass NPC selling me a fucking thing of rope.
Like that random name that Jake asked for earlier. Google that one too.
Lord Arlist.
He's probably a fucking
Therefore
cash
dictate
incarnate.
the rise and fall of a dynasty. Like Hylan bringing a child. It is said by some that Confucius himself was brought in by a Kylan. The animal is also used to describe a brilliantly talented person.
She was making fucking unicorns and shit, so.
Yeah, well.
And she didn't even know how to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of just asked her to do that one.
How bright was she when you looked at her through the glasses?
If I remember correctly, it wasn't like homie's bright. It was it was like looking at a freaking lava lamp.
It's almost like shooting stars going
Yeah,
through
but
her veins.
they're just like
little
it's like
flecks of
electricity running through her veins.
light. Yeah. Alex starting to catch on. Starting to Google shit.
Hate this shit. I love it and I hate it.
I know you do.
Spell it. Alright, well, if you guys come up with any other weird ass shit, let me know.
Well,
I'll find like a whole list of
Oh yeah.
a whole list.
There's plenty sprinkled in.
Fucking Christ.
Town names, city names, the whole bit.
oh no.
Oh, what was that small town he went to? Nah, no, I can't. I gotta get off. You guys have a wonderful night.
Hey, just a reminder, I won't be there tomorrow. I'm on
Yeah, you and Huckabee are out tomorrow.
Okay.
Copy. See ya.
Bye.
Alright. God.
Don't stay up all night, Alec.
Ha, you're tempting me.